Hello, welcome. It is I, Crypto Otaku, again here in the crypto market madness. It is March 1st. We made it. It has been a crazy month in February, the largest actual month in crypto's history, believe it or not. Let's dive into that real quick. Man, we had a hell of a ride. I actually posted a short last night as the market closed. Yeah, we are up a $20,000 monthly candle for Bitcoin. $20,000 pump for the month of February. Man, it was a great freaking month. Look at that. That's insane. That's freaking insane. What is that? Almost a 50% pump last month. Crazy! What are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah, we're going to the moon. We are going to the moon, Mondo. Please like and subscribe. Get me out there. I'm doing my best to kind of fit myself into the narrative. And yeah, this is going to be a crazy ride. And it's just the beginning of 2024. I have a whole bunch of stuff to dive into today. We are in the brink of another banking collapse, and the Fed needs to loosen their grip on these interest rates because, yeah, we are there. We're going right back into it, baby. Right back into it. Bancor, right again. We talked about this last month when they were coming down. They had like a 20-30% drop overnight. Now they had another one. Yeah, they're pretty much gonna open up dead on Monday. And I found out that New York Community Bank Corp actually were one of the they're the ones that gobbled up the assets from Signature Bank. That is what the media controlling the masses was and the propaganda from the media telling you that Signature Bank had collapsed due to its investment in crypto illicit activity, and that is all false. That is all false. The banks collapsed for one reason, and that's one reason only. Too many loans out there, and primarily the treasuries, right? The treasuries are in the negative in terms of yield. You aren't getting crap from negative yields because your dollar is also being devalued, as well as you know, what you're going to actually get from a 30-year treasury bond or a 10-year or a 3-year bond. So yeah, the dollar is donezo, and we are on the way out. Kind of wanted to play a little clip of this just to get you into the narrative.
The recent news
of the night
in the headlines is whether the Bank of America is on the verge of collapse.
I kind of just found that really quick. I wanted to play this kind of in the moment. Just kind of looking up banking collapse here on YouTube. You can see the current trends. I watched this interview today with Kevin, and Kevin was talking again about the banking collapse and Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin. Yeah, the Wall Street's there. The Wall Street crowd's already in. They already get it. They're starting to do the research. You get a little bit of kind of cringe hearing them talk about what they think they know, or as much as they do know about Bitcoin in the current stages. You know, not everyone on the planet has put in 3,000, 4,000, 8,000 hours of research into this. So you gotta give them a little bit of a break. But yeah, it's all over X too, and here's a little flash from the past. Yeah, just 2 years ago, Wells Fargo and Bank of America, Chase is still doing it in some countries, in the UK, withholding people's funds that they're transferring their money to Coinbase and other coin exchanges. Yeah, crypto is definitely not as under attack as it used to be. So it's a highlight, right? It's a highlight on this topic for the banks. very interesting to see just like the demographic, the narrative change in the culture. It's insane. But yeah, just so much crap going on. So much crap every freaking day. Hard to keep up with. Crypto Atlantis happened today. Michael Saylor also came out, as well as Lynn Alden, and many others, just talking they're speaking their piece on crypto in the Atlantic. Pretty awesome. I watched a huge chunk of this today. Didn't have time to watch it all. Oh my god, there's like 8 hours of it. I had to flip those burgers today at McDonald's. But yeah, it was a good watch. If you're in the space for a long time, nothing new was really said here. This is pretty much a hoorah moment, getting everyone on board. It was great. It was wonderful. And they did you know, you had another couple long rants by Michael Saylor comparing Bitcoin to digital power, digital energy to digital power. It was great. He's he's the one to orange pill me. I'm ecstatic to see him always, anytime I can. And this June, or is it July? I forget. This June or July, the Bitcoin conference is happening in Nashville. I'm gonna try to get out there if I can. I don't know if I can make that kind of money on my current McDonald's salary, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, there's so much stuff happening every single day in the space. BlackRock launches a spot Bitcoin ETF in Brazil. Here we go again. More ETF crazy overseas, everywhere. Everyone's getting in their own way. And this is not the first spot Bitcoin ETF in Brazil. I do remember them launching one in, I think it was 2022. A lot of countries have already gotten here. I know Canada's already been a long way ahead of us too. They were one of the first countries to have a Bitcoin ETF, I believe. We'd have to look into that at some point. But yeah, BlackRock's just digging their claws into everything, everywhere. We already talked about BlackRock getting involved in Japan. That was a few weeks ago when the venture capitalists got the green light from Japan to invest in crypto and Bitcoin and everything else. So yeah, keep an eye on these ETFs. And speaking of ETFs, we were just talking about Kevin, and Kevin was interviewing Ross Gerber. I want to play a quick little clip of them talking about Bitcoin today as well. Here we go. It's a good watch if you got some time. Not the whole thing. The whole thing's pretty much just ranted about Elon, and I'm okay with that. I got plenty to rant on about Elon, but here's a good one. Take a listen.
That's right. Wow. So in the next year, these Bitcoin ETFs will be added to all the platforms.
Wow.
And then it's just a matter of time till some goof at like Merrill Lynch says we should have a 1% allocation to Bitcoin.
Then everybody does it.
And then it's like the trillion-dollar firms start buying 10 billion each.
Wow.
And then it's all done. And then Bitcoin goes to, I don't know, doubles, you know?
Well,
and by the way, it's the halving right now.
Oh, right. And
okay.
On top of that, to use the half number, I want to say about half of Bitcoin hasn't been traded in the last 2 years.
That's not true. It's actually a lot more than that. It's about 75 to 80% of all Bitcoin has not been traded in the last 2 years, as of the beginning of this year.
At least some Bitcoin hasn't been traded in 5-10 years.
Yeah, I think a lot of Bitcoin will never be traded.
Quite possibly.
I don't sell my
frankly.
Bitcoin.
Well,
I've never sold a Bitcoin.
I think there's probably a good chunk that's also just lost, originally created.
Estimated to be about 5 to 6 million lost.
I would think that a lot of it is
just gone.
Yeah, it's just like maybe some computers.
Yeah, so the supply is probably lower than it actually.
Well, and there's the Satoshi coins or whatever that is. Whoever owns that, you know, I like that part of Bitcoin. That was always the part I was like, everything was good in the story until you got to Satoshi, and that's when you lost me. You know,
and I think that's what people love about not knowing really who the true identity is of the person who created Bitcoin because of history. Yeah, because if you knew, you'd be like, well, that person's a scam.
And if you don't know the money out of it, it's untouched coins. It's fascinating. But I think for people in general, and they're like, why do I need to own Bitcoin? And I say, look at the U.S. government. Okay, it literally printed trillions of dollars on a dime, then jacks up all us rates, suck it all back in, right? It's like how much money? Now you look at the Chinese government just falling apart. There's one solution for China. You know what it is? Printing more money. Okay,
it's true, and they're not. Their stimulus is phenomenal.
They didn't study the Great Depression in the United States.
So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Just again to see how Kevin's really flipped over the years. I've been watching him since COVID 2020, and he really was not on board with Bitcoin for a long time. And he almost lost his entire channel, lost his mind and everything in the whole scheme of things. But it's really interesting to see how far we've come. We've completely flipped Wall Street. I mean, he was pro dollar forever, Kevin. And here we are. He's talking about Bitcoin on his channel like every single day now. Everyone is completely flipping. It's going Bitcoin madness, Bitcoin crazy, Bitcoin bonkers in this market. Again, ahead of this dystopian future that we're creating for ourselves. It's going to be Mad Max. It's going to be Acura. It's going to be Blade Runner. It's going to be insane. And yeah, we are at the forefront of this. So stay safe, get yourself protection, whatever that may be, whether it's a baseball bat full of nails or a gun that you want to tote around, but even better, just make sure that you're financially safe and you have some Bitcoin. All right, moving into another topic. So as soon as we got off last night, I went onto my YouTube feed and I'm like, oh shoot. Wow. I think it was CNBC. CNBC covered yours truly, I was talking about last night, RFK. And yeah, I'm going to play this as well. I hate to be throwing all this out here, but there's just so much to like digest. So many things going on, so many moving parts. But yeah, if RFK keeps giving the momentum and really getting it out there. Bitcoin is as high as a topic as it has been starting to trend. We'll get into that after this. Then I do believe that there is a chance. There is a chance we have a shred of hope for a Bitcoin future. So at least a pro-Bitcoin president. Anyway, let's go into this one.
Bitcoin, and kind of a more fun note, a lot of serious stuff going on. Bitcoin, you said you spoke at a conference, you bought some of it for your kids last year. You more than doubled your money if you're still holding. Are you still holding? I mean, let's just have a little fun here to end the segment.
Yeah, I am. I'm still holding. My kids are very, very happy about it.
Yeah, what's Bitcoin's real role? There are members of Congress, both parties, I believe, that think it should be banned.
Yeah, I mean, they want it banned because they're being paid by the BlackRock and Morgan and all the big globalist banking monopolies that are making money on inflation and making money by the Fed printing money. But American people, the American middle class, is getting rolled, and the off-ramp from that, from the money printing machine is Bitcoin, because it is hard currency. And we need to make it transactionally available to the middle class. We need to make sure that people who want to protect themselves against inflation can have this, but also that they have transactional freedom. That the government is not, able now to digitalize our currencies, and like they did in Canada. Yeah. And when the truckers disobeyed, when the truckers protested peacefully, their bank accounts were shut down. Well, they couldn't.
Yeah, I remember when this happened. I actually covered it in my journal on. I have a Discord journal, and they completely shut down all the financial transactions of these truckers, all of them. And I got that pulled up here too for a little bit of a flash in the past as well. In case you've never seen this before, it was a big deal in 2022, I believe.
sparked anger over the controversy surrounding GoFundMe and the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom, which had received 10 million Canadian dollars, equivalent to almost 8 million US dollars in donations, until the fundraising platform GoFundMe froze their funds on Friday, alleging violations of its terms of service. You might have heard this story. This situation demonstrates the ultimate value proposition for Bitcoin, which I'll get to shortly. But first, GoFundMe said in a Friday statement, GoFundMe supports peaceful protests, and we believe that was the intention of the Freedom Convoy 2022 fundraiser when it was first created. We now have evidence from law enforcement that the previous peaceful demonstration has become an occupation, with police reports of violence and other unlawful activity. This fundraiser is now in violation of our terms of service, which prohibits the promotion of violence and harassment, and has been removed from the platform. Now, in the statement, GoFundMe also said donors who wanted a refund had to submit a request until February 19th. Otherwise, the money would be sent.
But yeah, that's pretty much what happened almost 2 years ago. I think it was April of 2022 that occurred. Anyway, we'll get back into RFK.
Pay their mortgages. They couldn't pay for their children's education. The government could control their speech by controlling their transactional freedom. And, you know, transactional freedom is as important as freedom of speech. And you only get that from Bitcoin. We're not going to get that, you know, as long as the government...
That's right. That's right. RFK said it. It is our transactional freedom we are defending here, and our right to speak with our money, right? You have the right to live and vote where you know, vote with your feet where you live, right? Same thing with money. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of like review this. There's so much going on, so many moving parts to what's happening right now, and we still have a long way until the main event, right? The big debate, right? I think it's going to be in September. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, the American people don't have enough time to even hear these candidates out. It's just sad, and it's going to be all controlled, all manipulated to the very last minute. But yeah, so moving into our next topic. So we just covered how El Salvador, what do you call it? The you know, freedom and Bitcoin and just in general, like, they're printing our money away. And we just talked about Meet Kevin. They're talking about another banking collapse. I showed you the bank corp is going down. Bank of America is kind of it's maybe the next largest bank to fall. We'll see how that works. But the Bukele last week, we didn't get a chance to cover this last week. Heard about it, but I just never got a chance to review it. But I just kind of wanted to point this out, that Bukele went to CPAC, and he was basically outlining exactly what the Fed does to our dollar, to our future. Again, what we covered, man, it was back, it was like 4 weeks ago with the what do you call it? The 60-minute interview with Jerome Powell, where we are basically printing money endlessly and borrowing on the backs of future generations. Remember?
The U.S. federal government's on an unsustainable fiscal path, and that just means that the debt is growing faster than the economy. We're borrowing from future generations.
That's right, we're borrowing from future generations, right? So every time Jerome Powell prints some money, and he's not doing it particularly, but every time our government prints money, we are going, we're just going further and further into debt, and we're borrowing further and further from the future. And we cannot do this systematically every year and expect anything to ever return to normal ever again. I mean, during that 60-minute interview, we also had this as well.
A sharp increase in the national debt. 30 years from now, it is projected to be $144 trillion, or $1 million per household.
Yeah, like what the F, right? $1 million per household. That's absurd. You think we're crazy. You think we're nuts as Bitcoiners, but we're not nuts. This is happening right before our eyes. And there again in that interview with the Fed, we've already heard that by the from the horse's mouth. So anyway, going back into Bukele, how this all fits in. A week ago, he was at CPAC. CPAC is the Conservative Political Action Conference, and he spoke on just basically where we're at as a country and where he personally thinks he just reflecting again what Bitcoin, a non-sovereign monetary system, has done for his country, and what our dollar is continuing to do for ours. So let's get a little listen to this as well. There's so many clips tonight. I apologize. There's just so much to unpack, and I've got kind of a crazy bank narrative going in right now in my mind, and I just gotta get through it. I'm gonna go crazy.
To his influence. No one believes his lies anymore over there. Our victory is unprecedented in the history and modern democracies in the world. They also gave us a supermajority in Congress, more than that there. And who's the dictator? Thousands of young Salvadorans to join the dangerous trend that undermines these institutions. Effectiveness and their credibility is at stake, both home and abroad. This is a warning from a friend. You should adhere to their foundational principles and purposes and denounce this new institutionalism. Fast, a problem can multiply and spiral out of control. The problem is much like the metaphor of the boiling frog. Once the water boils, it's already too late. People fail to see these things. It's our nature. Just like the frog, people become complacent and they don't realize how bad things are getting until it's too late. Well, I know, of course, El Salvador is a lot smaller country. Setting aside the differences, there's a similarity with what is happening here in the United States. We also had many apparently isolated problems in the 60s and the 70s, and we failed to realize as a country the severity of them until it became a civil war. By the time we reacted, it was already too late. We were already boiled like the frog. And it took us 50 years, 2 wars, 250,000 lives, and a third of our population displaced, and a near miracle to get our country back. As your friend, I want to issue this warning so you don't make the same mistakes we did in the 60s and the 70s. It is not easy to pull yourself back once you're in boiling water. You can still jump, deal with the disease. They seem like petty criminals. It's already dead. They hate our success. They don't seem to have the same standards for themselves as they are trying to impose on others.
I apparently lost the clip, but basically he was saying that we are putting our money into oblivion, and we are. I gotta find it. It's gonna drive me nuts. But basically, we're putting our money into oblivion, and the Fed is, everyone invests in treasury bonds, and the Fed pays himself with the treasury bonds, and then prints more money, and effectively it's an endless system. And that's how we're not paying the Fed through taxes. We're actually funding the government through the treasuries, and then the Fed is just printing the money to buy those treasuries. So it's an endless system. It's an endless game. And Bukele is right on point, and hopefully he does not get assassinated. Because this man has done so much wealth preservation for his country, and there's so much to unpack there, and especially with his advisors as well. Max Kaiser, Samson Mao, all these people that are at his side, facilitating this entire move within the Bitcoin initiative to get their country on the spot. And again, we've covered this before with the Bitcoin treasuries and where they currently sit, they don't have an enormous amount of Bitcoin like some other countries or like some other companies. But this is a very small country that is now going to be enormously empowered by this increasingly popular monetary system that is not based by fiat, endless printing, and a money supply that never ends. It is a finite amount, and yeah, they are going to be greatly rewarded for it in the future. You can see here, El Salvador. It's still one of the smallest holdings as a country, but as a small nation, is enormous. Okay, so don't discount that they only have 2,300 Bitcoin. They are still the first Bitcoin country. All right. So, enough to unpack there with the whole banking system collapsing and yada, yada, yada. It's coming. It's not going to happen overnight. Yada, it's going to take some time. But yeah, we are getting there. And crypto is going to change the way we all invest. And oh God, that's what Larry Fink said. Almost like verbatim. Oh God, that's disgusting. Ugh, that feels sick. Ugh. Anyway, yeah, just so much to unpack tonight. So the trends right now, right? The trends right now with Bitcoin are slightly moving on up. We're starting to open people's eyes. I said this the other night. As soon as these other countries are putting in these all-time highs, we are going to get the nations to wake up. And Americans, sadly, are going to be the last ones of the game because our all-time high is measured in dollars, and a dollar is the king, right? Was the king. And yeah, so we are really gonna take our time waking up and getting mass adoption, but we are still so early, even with mainstream media talking about it, even with all the Wall Street jumping in, all the ETFs launching, and venture capital, everything else is moving in, right? We are still so early because retail, you and I, consumers, McDonald's workers, right? Like myself, are just getting in. We are just getting started. We haven't even woken up yet. We are nowhere near where we were talking about in 2021 when everyone was jumping off the bandwagon to get it. Tax season just started, right? So everyone's getting their taxes back gradually. Maybe some of that will move into Bitcoin, but people still aren't awake to it. It's still not in the top 10, top 100 daily Google searches. It's still pretty low. We could look in the last 7 days. How often was Bitcoin? I mean, it's kind of off-putting, really. You'd think it would be a lot higher as we get closer and closer to all-time highs. We are only 5,000, 7,000, depending on the moment you look at Bitcoin. Let's see where we're at the charts. I just kind of clean my screen off right now. We're still at 62.2. It looks like we're putting in a new daily candle. Let's see. In the last 15 minutes. Yeah, I mean, we're still kind of consolidating around 62. It's as bullish as all hell that we didn't even come down under this. We can't even lose any ground anymore with these ETFs holding us in new shelves, constantly just higher and higher, higher, putting us on a pedestal. It's only a matter of time, and as soon as we break out of 64, as soon as we break out of 65, there's nothing else left to take. It's just we were only at the all-time highs for like 3 or 4 days. 69,000 only hit, and then it was gone like a flash. Boom, like that. And yeah, if you look on the daily chart, how often we were at that level back in the day, 2021, man, it's so long ago. It feels like it wasn't that long ago, but man, it was years ago. It's crazy how much time flies. Yeah, we were at all-time highs for 2 days. If you want to call that 2 days, I'd say that counts. 2 days. And most of the time we were right around 66 for 3 days. And yeah, most of the time we spent, it wasn't very long. again, these are daily candles. These are the only days we were ever above 64, 62. We're right on here right now. It won't take much long. I mean, we're talking about maybe next week with the inflows of the ETFs. Again, every day we cover that. The inflows are just getting massively breaking new records every single day. I think it was the Bitcoin hodler came out and said that on average we're looking at a $500 move, a $500 price increase on average per trading session. Right now, I'd argue it's even higher than that. We had a $20,000 pump. $20,000 pump. This is, and again, this doesn't like count for all trading sessions, but there was 28 days in February, right? And we had a $20,000 pump. So on average, let's say I think there were 2 bank holidays in February. There were, I don't know, maybe 6 weekends, right? Maybe 8. Yeah, I'll just say 8. So 10 days. So that's 18 trading sessions. Let's just say 20 to be just round number. So 20,000 divided by 20, right? 20 trading sessions. It's about $1,000 move a day. That's insane. Absolutely crazy. And then the next month, if we continue this trend, ETFs constantly getting released, constantly getting moved to bigger banks, and banks that want to participate, banks that don't want to participate but are forced to, like Van Eck is right now, and their CEO just getting forced out. This is coming. This is happening. This is reality now. This is just massive inflow daily. It's not going to stop. Yeah, ETFs don't trade on weekends, but we do. Retail does. And yeah, we're not stopping. We're not stopping until, I mean, we don't know. We don't know. That's the thing. I don't think that we're gonna see a massive sell-off like we did in the past anymore. Now, we never had institutions in. We never had retirement funds funded in Bitcoin. I mean, we're talking about a whole nother level. The miners are going to be in trading accounts now, or savings account, investing. ETFs now are going to be funded in mining stocks and MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is getting close to the S&P 500. Once MicroStrategy is in the S&P, anyone holding the S&P 500 has exposure to Bitcoin. Isn't that going to be insane? We're talking about like literally every 401k on the planet is going to have some exposure to Bitcoin if that happens. And honestly, that won't take very much longer. MicroStrategy is the largest holding of any company that we know of. There's so many people amassing Bitcoin right now, it's hard to keep track. And we don't know who's who exactly, but we know who the wallets are. But yeah, MicroStrategy right now, we'll get back into the Bitcoin treasuries. You can see that they're at 193,000 Bitcoins, right? And MicroStrategy stock is, I think it was, last time I looked, it was like in the 1,000 range, not quite 500 yet. Where are we placing MicroStrategy? I don't know where I'm looking. I'm not a stock trader or investor. I don't believe in such things anymore. Let's see, buy market cap. It is currently at 1,003. So they're about halfway there, right? They're about halfway there. Right now, Bitcoin gets so they would need a. I don't know what the rest of the other companies are worth. I don't really want to dig into that dirty nonsense with the Wall Street. But yeah, let's just say it won't take very long. I think once Bitcoin's at like 100,000, MicroStrategy is going to be in the top 500 for sure. For sure. So don't forget, don't let your dreams be dreams, and continue to buy Bitcoin. And let MicroStrategy and its company CEO Michael Saylor point you in the right direction. All right, so that covers most of the news I've got tonight. Let's dive into the TA we have right now. Where are Bitcoin's at? Where some of the other crypto assets are headed, and kind of go from there. Bitcoin's currently trading at 62,400. We really didn't have much of a downward move today. This is where we were last night. You can see we had the same kind of measure move as the night before. All I did was literally take this and move it here. That's all I did from last night because of the same damn measured move we had forming. Again, a new lower high, a new higher low, a new higher low, a new higher high. You know, we just keep taking the same kind of move up. And all you got to do is just kind of put your poles in place and just look for the ascending pattern to form, and you get an idea where we're gonna land. We have a possible low test at 61,000, I would say, and then we have it looks like we're already forming a higher higher low is already broken out. So this will probably bing bong around here for a little while. It might deviate a little bit to the right, might deviate a little bit to the left, down here. And then eventually we'll probably see another breakout. I mean, it's either a 60% chance up or a 40% down. And again, previous trading patterns aren't even really applicable anymore because these ETFs are breaking the entire system. Bitcoin's the most scarce asset on the planet. Don't you forget. It is a finite supply. It's only 21 million. We just talked about how there's probably only 5 million lost. And they are just accumulating everything they possibly can. And they're not stopping. They are not stopping. So anything's better than zero, please get off the zero. The dollar is going inevitably lower. So yeah, you want to protect yourself and buy Bitcoin. All right, let's see what's going on with crypto bubbles. Crypto bubbles. What's our biggest moves for today? Are oh god, they're all meme coins. Doge is up 20%. Pepe is up 40%. Sheep is up 50%. Dog with hat is up 28%. Come on, dog with hat. Really? Really? We got some little things here. Bonk is up again. All meme coins today. So maybe I was wrong a little bit about retail is now paying attention because now we have the meme coins. Oh boy. Oh boy. It is what it is. People are gonna wanna chase that lottery ticket. I don't get it. I don't get it. Wouldn't you rather have, like, I don't know, some beam or maybe an AI play, like I don't know what's up here right now. God, I am losing my mind with these memes. And don't get me wrong, I've made some money with some meme coins before. I made about like 3,000 or 4,000 on Pepe last year. I think is when we broke out. Pepe was released on Coinbase. Pretty much, yeah. I don't want to say dumb money. How about the ill-informed money will follow the meme coins, the tokens without true utility. I'm really surprised of Sheep though, because Sheep was like the only meme coin I actually had some hope that would have true utility for a little while, because they did announce a metaverse, they did announce Bone and Leash and Call, whatever. They're basically just cash grabs, really. And I got disappointed that they didn't actually put out like a little Nintendogs kind of game or something. If you're familiar with Nintendogs, that was released on the DS and eventually the 3DS when that launched as well. Nintendogs was a massive popular game back in, early 2000s. So yeah, it worked for Nintendo. I could have saw something like that for Sheep. Take the best, everyone's favorite dogs in the world, make a little game out of it. There hasn't been anything and throw it on mobile. If they would have done that, throw it on mobile, make it like a Nintendogs clone, call it Shiba Universe or whatever, and boom, you have a $1 million idea overnight. $1 million sensation, and they unfortunately still haven't done anything with that I'm aware of. And the roadmap is still as blurry as it was 2 years ago. So disappointed, and there really has been absolutely nothing. I think the original founder of Doge like abandoned that project a long time ago, or sold it or something. So I don't understand the meme coins. I never really did. About true utility and the future of this space. You don't want to miss out. Again, new Amazons, new Walmart, new Amazons, new Googles, new Microsofts, new Apples. You don't want to miss out. AVAX, Ethereum, Polygon, these layer 1s, layer 2s, Solana. You don't want to miss out on these huge plays and the things building on top of them that are actually good use cases. Please don't miss out. Please don't miss out on these. They're gonna change your life. They're gonna give you life-changing wealth. So just pay attention. Do your research. But yeah. Anywho, what do we got? We have 49 days, 2 hours, 60 minutes until the 420 blaze it Bitcoin halving, and it is coming faster and faster every day. We're one more day away. We're one less day away. We're getting there. We're moving there. We're fast. We're getting there fast, and it is coming up quick. Ooh, man. What do I even want to dive into now? Well, we've got about 15 minutes until market opens in China. Oops, I lied. It's the weekend. Of course. The crypto never sleeps. So Mr. 100 could still be buying another 100 Bitcoin, another 1,000 Bitcoin. We still don't know who exactly that is. We have guesses that it's obviously someone with a ton of money, because it's either Jeff Bezos or it's Elon Musk, or it could be a nation like Qatar. I don't know. I wonder if someone's done the math and how much they've been buying. But right now I think it is... Well, look at this. Looks like the unknown entity, dubbed Mr. 100, has been quietly buying Bitcoin, 100 Bitcoin nearly every day, including weekends, since February 14th. This was a few days ago, published by the Daily Hodl. Yeah, they've been accumulating about a total of 3,800 Bitcoin worth at 200 million from what was it? I lost track of what I was saying. This is a weekend since February 14th. Okay, since February 14th to now. But yeah, zooming out, the whale has been active since November of 2022 and now holds 47,192 Bitcoin, worth of staggering $2.5 billion. That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So this is what everyone's talking about when we're talking about Mr. 100. I thought I'd just go over that a little bit because I brought it up a few times and not everyone's aware of who Mr. 100. I mean, no one knows who Mr. 100 is, but this is what we are talking about when we refer to Mr. 100. But yeah, this guy's crazy, and he even goes on multiple buying sprees throughout the day. There was a day where he bought like 300 or 400 in a single day. This guy's not stopping. There's like 500 in what day was that? February 26th, he bought 500. And again, that's 500 of the 900 that we currently have the ability to mine in a single day. So that's crazy. And this is just one guy. We're not talking about the ETFs. We're not talking about the other countries. We're not talking about retail. We're not talking about other investors, institutions. We're talking about one freaking person buying half of as much as we can even mine in a single day. So you don't think this is ever going to compound? This is ever going to add up? This is ever going to go completely, parabolic? You have lost your mind. Lost your damn mind. And I've already lost mine. So, yeah. So that's Mr. 100. I thought I'd review that a little bit as well before I forget. I've been kind of not doing my due diligence on this, but I've covered it. Can't say I didn't cover it. I covered it. Alrighty. Yeah, and that's probably all the crypto news I got for today. That's a lot to unpack. we're seeing new highs in a lot of different coins. Every time I look at my bags, I'm sticker shocked. I'm just like, oh God, what happened now? Holy sh! Okay, I'm not gonna look at that again for a while. You got to take your emotions out and just kind of like keep a level head. Let's get some of your sanity back for a minute and just kind of come back to reality and be like, all right, hold steady, because we just started. Alrighty. Losing my damn mind. Let's just kind of see if anything new has been posted in the news, and then I will probably get off for the night. Let's see what we got going on. Bitcoin news. There's got to be some stuff maybe covering Atlantis a little more. I saw Michael Saylor had a new what do you call it? Presentation for Bitcoin today. I saw clips of it. People were recording on their phone. So I'm hoping that gets posted at some point tonight or tomorrow. Because he made it very clear he wasn't gonna just reiterate all the old stuff we've heard a million times. So I'm excited to see what my orange pillar is gonna put out today. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about some crazy highs. Like we're talking about 250,000 this year. We're talking about $1 million Bitcoin next year. Samson Mao keeps saying this over and over again. Again, Samson Mao is the financial advisor for El Salvador and many other nations. He's getting other people orange pilled as we speak. He's been also seen with Julian. I forget his last name. The new presidente of Argentina. He's been seen with him and other countries and nation states as well. Brazil and South Africa. He is orange pilling the world one nation at a time. And yeah, if you haven't looked into Samson Mao, please, he's amazing. I can't believe what he's just the way his brain works. And you know what I noticed as well? He's also an otaku.
1 million Bitcoin.
Because you ever go, I went through some of his videos and I noticed at one point he's got some Macross stuff in the background. If you're not familiar with Macross, I don't see anything in this video. It's a little short. But in his room, he's got some clearly Robotech Macross stuff. So if I ever get to meet him one day, that would be amazing as well. If you're not familiar with Macross, it's a mecha series as well, originally known as Robotech here in the States. If you grew up with that, there's Miss Lin Minmay, the first real anime idol in Japan, and the Macross were the very popular transforming Valkyrie type jet fighters from the 80s. Really cool series. If you have never seen it, it's definitely worth a watch, especially if you're into mecha. There's been a whole bunch of new iterations of it now. Here is Macross Frontier that came out like 10-15 years ago now. But yeah, really cool to see that we have similar interests with a few of these Bitcoiners. I haven't found too many that are really super duper into anime. But yeah, Samson really kind of inspires me to continue. But yeah, these nation states are going to be adopted. It's only a matter of time. And eventually we'll get adopted here in America. They can't hold us back, because if they hold America back, that's it. We're out of technology as you know it. This is the future. All AI is going to run on crypto. Who thinks going to be paying these automated machines, automated robots, and self-driving cars? It's all going to be paid in crypto. So this is a huge game. If you haven't woken up to it yet, it's not just about money. Okay, it's about programmable digital assets, programmable tokens, right? Programmable entries, and it's all gonna happen so fast. Kathy Wood, we were talking about that last night. Kathy Wood put out an amazing video how she was just kind of going through her venture capitalist ideas, and she had a new interview that appeared last night or yesterday morning, I think, And yeah, just kind of going over how it's going to change our future between 5 and 10 years. You're not going to recognize the entire world. And I keep saying that on here, that we're headed for something. And sadly, right now, it's looking more for like, looking more like a dystopian, you know, style future. Like, oh, yeah, the world's just crumbling around. Yeah, we got just disarray and complete chaos in the streets, and people are... you never know what's coming. I don't want to get into all that, but it's coming. But yeah, we got about 9 minutes until it is officially market opens in China, and they are not opening today, so we're not going to see too much of a movement like usually we do on Saturdays. Usually when I put my my buy-in for Bitcoin in the morning, I'm buying about $5 a day here since we're above 60,000. If you haven't placed your bets yet, you still have a possibility of getting 4x this cycle. Again, base case, maybe worth getting into. Buy Bitcoin every day, Mondo says. Buy Bitcoin. I can drink to that. Buy Bitcoin every day. Alrighty. Well, I have spent enough time talking and ranting and raving about Bitcoin and all crypto. I think it's time to probably call it a night. Again, if you don't have your assets off of the exchanges, please do so, because you never know when you're going to get eclipsed by one of those impending exchanges collapsing as well, especially as we get closer to the banks getting involved with the exchanges, more so holding your assets for you instead of you holding your own. I think it's really important to get that off of the exchanges, so don't forget to do that, and pick yourself up a Bitcoin or a crypto hardware wallet, whether it's a Trezor, whether it's a Ledger, whether it's, you know, yada yada yada. Just pick one up and get your money off the exchanges. Remember, not your keys, not your cheese. And it is time for me to call it. So have a good night. Hopefully Bitcoin will be up at a higher high tomorrow. Once we break through the 64, we're in price discovery mode. At that point, there's nothing stopping us from seeing infinity and beyond. So have a good night, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Please like and subscribe, do all the things, and don't let your dreams be dreams. Buy Bitcoin. Otaku out. Have a good night. Later.